Hi, I'm Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com, and today I'd like to share with you some alternate project ideas that I came up with using the contents of the February 2016 Hello Sunshine Paper Pumpkin Kit from Stampin' Up! In this kit, you get enough supplies to make 9 of these beautiful floral cards, 3 of each style. You can follow the directions that are given in these kits to create fabulous fun projects and cards, or you can go beyond and change up the kit contents to create something completely outside the paper pumpkin box, as I'll be showing you in my video today. Stampin' Up! Includes everything that you'll need in these kits. Besides the stamps and the inks that you can collect and continue to use in future projects, you'll get pre-cut decorative papers, envelopes, embellishments, special adhesives, and full step-by-step directions with photos and a link to a how-to video to help you assemble the projects as shown. That's a lot of product at only $19.95 per month, and that includes shipping straight to your mailbox. So affordable! And right now, through the end of March, you can earn free product from our celebration brochure and save on the cost of future paper pumpkin kits by purchasing select prepaid packages. Purchase the 3-month package, earn 1 celebration product, and save $1.62 per kit. Purchase the 12-month package, earn 4 celebration products, get $21.50 in free additional Stampin' Up! Product of your choice, and save $2 per kit. It's a great time to try it out. But did you know current subscribers can purchase and use prepaids too? So everyone can save and get goodies now through the end of March. There's really no excuse not to get signed up. Besides being super affordable, they're compact, so you don't need a craft room to house them. They give you 30 minutes of creative therapy. They make perfect gifts. They're great for kids and adults, male or female. And if you don't like the projects suggested inside, you can go on the internet and search for other ideas. I promise you, you will love these kits. Plus, if you sign up with me as your demonstrator, I will send you extra ideas each month that are exclusive to my subscribers only. On the flip side, if you do start up a subscription and you decide it's not for you, you can cancel at any time. There's absolutely no obligation. Not a subscriber yet? You'll want to be after checking out what can be created with these fabulous kits of creativity. I'm excited to share, so let's get started. Keep in mind that most of the extra tools that I use in this video can be purchased from me in my online store. And they're listed below in my video description and linked to my online store. First of all, I want to share with you once again the cards that you can make with the kit. And if you look on the cover of the directions, I did this one almost exactly the same, but this one I turned horizontally and I just applied the same stickers but just in a different way. And then this one here, I also turned horizontally. So I got a couple different styles just by placing the stickers in a completely different spot. One of the questions we always love figuring out the answer to with every kit is what are the Stampin' Up! Colors that coordinate with it? So I pulled out this card because this one has all the colors in the kit besides the gold. So of course you have the gold, and then you also have the hint with the ink pad. This is Blackberry Bliss. This is Blackberry Bliss cardstock. So we've got that one figured out. We've got the gold figured out. The green, so I went to all my Stampin' Up! Colors and I matched them up. This is Pear Pizzazz. Of course, we have the Whisper White. It's not a vanilla base, it's a white base. And then the orange is actually Tangerine Tango. It's the closest color to it. We have a lighter version in there, but I don't think it's close enough to any of our lighter pinks or corals or anything. So I think it's just a lighter version of the Tangerine Tango. And then we have blue. And in my mind, it's much closer to the Pool Party Blue, but you've got this lighter version here, which I think can match up with the Soft Sky too. So I think it could be either one of those blues. And then the last color, which you don't think of unless you're looking at the sequins, is the pink, because it kind of clashes a little bit with the orange, but this pink color here, the pink pirouette, matches the sequins that are in the kit. So you could add that in as well. For this next project, we're going to use 2 of the colors. We're going to use the Pool Party and we're going to use the Blackberry Bliss cardstock, and then a few other supplies. Your dimensionals, which again you could get from past kits if you're a regular subscriber. We're going to need some snail adhesive, we're going to bring in those tea lace paper doilies. I love those. Some Dazzling Details glitter, and then 3 punches. And the punches that I'm choosing are the 2-inch circle punch, the 1-inch circle punch, and the 3/4 inch circle punch. Let's first start with a half a sheet of Blackberry Bliss. So I've already cut our cardstock. Actually, I haven't. I will cut it at 5.5. 5.5 would give us a half a sheet of Blackberry Bliss cardstock. Then we're going to score that at the 4.25 inch mark going this way. So this is 8.5 by 5.5. That's a half a sheet. And then we're going to score it this way. So now we're folding it in half. And we're going to score it again at 2 1/8. That's bringing the 4.25, cutting that down into a half. So now we can fold what I call a Z-fold. And if you want to, you can bring in your bone folder tool to help make those creases nice and tight. We used that on our last project to curl. So there we go. We've got that in there. And then you're going to add a 1/4 sheet of Pool Party right inside here. Let's cut that down. And it's not even quite a 1/4 of a sheet. We're going to cut it down just a little bit smaller so that we have some Blackberry Bliss edging all the way around. So now we're going to cut it at 5.25, not 5.5, but 5.25, and then 4 inches instead of 4.25. So again, we've just made it a 1/4 inch smaller all the way around. Using our snail adhesive, we'll add this to the inside of our card. That half a sheet of floral card that we had not used on our scrapbook page, we're bringing that back in, and we're going to trim that piece now. We're going to cut that off right at the score mark, and we're going to apply that to the front of our card. And then we're also going to use the scrap of either that piece there or the leftover piece. It doesn't matter, but you've got some white cardstock already in your kit if you're not using all your full cards. So let's do some punching now. So we're going to punch out a 2-inch circle of Blackberry Bliss. We're also going to punch out, and because I want to save this and I have this scrap from elsewhere, we're going to punch out a 1-inch circle and our 3/4 inch circle from this scrap here. Okay. For your tea lace paper doilies, you'll only need a half of a doily. So when you pull them out, just be careful because they do cling to each other very well. You have to really work hard at separating them out. I tend to take on the bigger solid loop there, I take it right there and separate it out. Okay, so now we've got that. And to cut that in half, you can either use a really long scissors and connect the 2 opposite sides, or you can use your paper trimmer. It's a little bit harder to see exactly where you're going if you use these lines here, but you can take and trim your doily in half if you start in the middle and then scoot outward and scoot outward again. Okay, so now we have our pieces, except for the pieces that come in the kit. So what piece will we use from our kit? We're going to use one of these inner blue flowers here. They're a little on the skinnier side, and they work really well for our project. We also need to bring in one other tool, and that's our paper snips, because we need to snip off a section here. We can actually save this for another card, these 3 here. But we're going to trim off a section that looks like rabbit ears. I'm going to make an Easter card, and he's going to be so cute. He's going to be a little bunny. Okay, so after you've attached that to your smallest circle, see what I do with my glitter? I take and put it into one of these containers here, and then I can just sprinkle over the container. Keep my spoon inside. There we go, we have some sparkly ears. So that's how you take care of the white ears, because they're blue on the other side, but you can also make them very festive with your Stampin' glitter. Okay, so we're going to put that piece down into the center, slightly upward, but the center of our Blackberry Bliss 2-inch circle. And then this one here is going to go on with a dimensional. So we'll put dimensional right like that. There's our little bun bun. Isn't he cute? And then we'll need a glue dot right where his tail is going to be. Again, push it down with your fingernails and then grab your snips and pull the backing off. These little guys have a lot of static in them. You'll notice that they kind of cling to your fingers when you pull them out of the container. So let's assemble our card. Because this is only going to cover on half of the Blackberry Bliss, we don't want adhesive on this side, so be really careful not to put your adhesive there. And then I also want my circle to kind of go off the edge here, so I'm not worried about coming further over to the left edge with this decorative piece of cardstock. Let's add our doily, putting adhesive just in the circular area where it will get covered up by our punch, and that could get set down flush to the right edge of our decorative paper. And then again, being very careful not to put adhesive too far over. We're going to set that piece right on top. In fact, we can come in just a little bit. It doesn't have to be exactly centered on there because it's not the exact same size circle anyways. So we'll stick our little guy down there. And then we can put on the inside some phrases. So I've already pre-stamped my congratulations. So this could be actually pretty great for, say, a baby card. Or if you want to use an extra stamp set, this one is wonderful. I love it for spring. It's called Crazy About You, and it's photopolymer, so it works really well with what we're used to as Paper Pumpkin subscribers. And we can take and stamp out Happy Easter with it. Put a little adhesive down. You'll want to have these banners going right across the middle, otherwise when you fold the card closed, that circular area might not cover up the banner. So you see how I've got it more centered there. So there's our Easter card, which is what I intended to make. Of course, we didn't have Easter stamps in the kit, but if you want to still make a bunny card and you only have this first kit, you can still make a cute congratulations on your new baby card with that little guy. So if you're going to make Easter cards, you might as well make some cute Easter baskets too. Aren't these adorable? I'm going to show you quickly how to make this one, and then I'll explain to you how to make the other one. So we'll start on this. Notice that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 panels. These panels are all squares and they're all 1 3/4 each. So for this particular basket, you only need the paper trimmer and some extra dimensionals. And we're going to go ahead and trim. So 1 3/4 plus 1 3/4 plus 1 3/4 actually takes you to the 5 1/4 inch mark. So we can go ahead and already trim this off at 5 1/4. Set that in the garbage, or use it if you want. And then I'm going to use this section 1, 2, 3 so that I can use this decorative paper elsewhere, because you'll notice I only have it on the front of the basket. So we need to work outward from the score mark. If this score mark is one of our score lines that we need, then we'll need 1 3/4 this way. We'll need 1 3/4 plus another 1 3/4, which is 3 1/2. So we're going to go ahead and already trim off. Let's see here. Let's go to the 3 1/2 inch mark. 3 1/2 inch mark will give us 1 3/4 plus 1 3/4. That means you're trimming off 3/4 of an inch on this end. And then you're going to mark this at 1 3/4 because we need to keep that score line in there. And that makes sense because look at, you have 5 1/4 here, and this reaches out to 5 1/4 inches there as well. We'll trim that off. You can use those for some other project. And now let's put the remainder of our score lines in here. So 1 3/4, 1 3/4, 1 3/4. And now we have our 9 square panels in there. The next step is to trim. And when you're trimming, you can see here, you want to trim just 2 cuts on each side. So we're going to trim here and here. And then we're going to do the same thing to the opposite side. And if we line it up in our paper trimmer, you can actually do it so that you don't have to worry about holding the scissors steady, because you can lift this up, move it to where you're going to start again, and trim it again. Let's do that one more time on this score line. You're only going to do that on 2 score lines, so that you have 2 cuts on each side. Let's bring this out of the way so you can see what I've got. Okay, now you can go ahead and fold those all inward. And the trick for attaching them all together is to take the glue dots, and I put one here, one here, and then I flipped it over and I put 2 right there. For this box, you can see I kind of crossed over pretty far in. So what I used for a measurement, per se, is basically, as I took this edge here, and I made sure it was going from here to here, it was meeting up with that imaginary line, this imaginary line from corner to corner. And I did the same thing on this side. And that's how I got that basket to fold up that far. You'll see this here, but you're going to cover that up with the handle of the basket. You'll do the same thing to the other side. For the remaining pieces to embellish our basket, we need a handle, we need one of our banners from the kit, we need one of our blue flowers, we need a portion of our gold squigglies, we need a sequin, we need to use some extra glue dots, and of course we have our dimensionals waiting here. So what I did is I put 2 glue dots on the back side of our handle piece, and the handle piece came from that 3/4 inch section of the card that we trimmed off originally. And we're just going to stick that in between these little slots here, making sure our glue dot disappears. We'll do the same thing on this side. There we go. And now to decorate the front of our basket. We'll grab one of these guys. We'll stick it down. And I've already stamped my banner. So before I actually put it down with some dimensionals, I'm going to add just a line of adhesive there. You could use your glue dots if you want. And then we're going to grab one of these gold squigglies and we're going to cut it in half. And for that, you might want to use like a longer scissors. We're just going to trim that in half really quick. There we go. We'll set that other piece aside for another basket. And then this can be stuck right under here, like that. And the dimensionals will help hold it in place. We'll add that right underneath our flower. I think our flower is a little too low. I had to stop the camera for a minute and adjust the flower. These stickers, by the way, are super sticky. But there, now we have most of our flower showing. And we'll put our sequin in the middle. And there's our finished baskets. To make this one, I didn't bring my cardstock all the way straight up and down here, those little lines. I didn't bring them to the imaginary diagonal line there. Instead, I just met the 2 corners together. Here, you can see it on this side here. I just brought those 2 corners together, and that made the basket open a little bit wider. Then I used some of those gold foil, the metallic foil doilies, and I used a small gold one here. I punched out with the 1 1/4 inch circle punch some scraps that were left over from one of my cards, and it just happened to have a few little hints of flowers on it. I don't know if you can see that there. There they are. And then I used a small leaf, one of the blue banners just for decoration, a small blue flower, and a sequin. I got that. Now what do you fill it with? Your blue tissue paper that comes in the kit. This blue tissue paper is like a pool party color. It's pretty close to pool party. So you can just add that inside your basket. Let's see here. And then you can take and add some eggs and some treats. Oh, that one's gonna fall. Off in the background, falling eggs off my table. But yes, gold candy, some eggs filled with candy, and you have some fun Easter treat baskets ready to give. For this last project in the video, we're going to make a Project Life page layout, and I'm using number 2 from our assorted pack of 12 by 12 page protectors. You're also going to need some photos. I'm pretending that these pear pizzazz pieces are going to become my photos, and I've got them cut down to the 4 by 6 size and the 3 by 4 size. You're going to need some black cardstock. I'll show you how to cut that in a minute. Your basic black ink pad, the flower stamp again from your itty bitty punch pack, your snips and snail and trimmers, and then a surprise product that we don't carry, but it's called Press and Seal. It's like a saran wrap type of, well, saran wrap is a brand, but it's a plastic wrap that has a stickiness to it that's not real strong, so it's going to help us to do some sticker transferring. Let's start with our black cardstock and cut that to size. We're going to trim down so that we have a 4 by 6 piece and a couple 3 by 4 pieces. Let's see, let's do it this way. By the way, make your blade go in both directions when you're cutting. Don't just always go down or always go up. Make it go back and forth so that you're using both sides of your blades on these paper trimmers. Okay, we've got our paper cut. And now I'm going to show you something really fun with that press and seal. Okay, so you know how you removed this flower, because that's mainly what they tell you to do with the kit, is to use this piece, right? Okay, I'm going to stick that aside for a minute. Hopefully it won't stick down where I just put it. And we're going to use just the inner part of this flower. So I'm going to trim around so that these little guys don't get picked up with it, because we want to keep them for something else. And we're going to put some of that press and seal. There we go. We're going to put it right on top of the remaining pieces of our orange cardstock, or our Tangerine Tango cardstock. Now, it's not going to be good enough just to press it. You actually need to do a little bit of rubbing so that you can see the darker orange come through the press and seal, so you can tell that it's really clinging to it. And then carefully, you're going to separate out these pieces here, the outside edges that we don't need. And if you find that one's not sticking down, just pick it up, catch it again on the sticky press and seal stuff, or you can grab it later. Isn't that a fun idea? Okay, so now we've got that piece, and we're going to stick it onto our black cardstock. And I think I want it positioned about there. Now, because it's not really strong adhesive, it's almost like you know, sticky note adhesive where you can peel it back up. You're gonna have a great time transferring those flowers to your other cardstock pieces. Isn't that awesome? Okay, let me show you what I did with the rest of the pieces. So I took that outline flower that we had, and I just used little corners of it here and there. I punched out some scrap of our gold foil using that itty bitty punch flower and stuck that in the middle of this guy. Used one of the solid leaves and then stuck a sequin in the middle. So now you can see my large 6x4 accent piece I did the same thing with one of these smaller pieces. And now with our last piece, which is going to be our title piece, we're going to take one of our long banners and we're going to stamp Happy Birthday using our basic black ink. We're not going to use any dimensionals, although you could, but I found it easiest if you take these little gold foil pieces, and here we have like a half one left over here from before, if they were able to stick all the way down. And if you have them kind of up on dimensionals, it might not be as easy to have them stick all the way down. So you'll stamp that banner, then you'll stick these on the back just here and there, and you'll come up with this great look. And in a scrapbook page, it's going to get pressed down anyways. Unlike our basket, they could kind of flow and be free. But on our scrapbook page or our Project Life page, they're going to be pressed down anyway, so you might as well have them flat down. Just a couple sequins there, and let me show you the final layout. And again, the pair pizzazz pieces represent photos. I didn't slip them into the pockets of the page protector because I didn't want any glare on the images when you saw them. So here you can see my 6x4 piece and my 3x4 pieces are laying there. I think it's going to be really great with some photos added in, some real photos. And I love how the colors pop off the black. So I wanted to show you one other product that I keep forgetting to show everyone, but this is, oh, it's my dirty one too. My Stampin' Mist cleanup pad. So this is my Stampin' Scrub, it's called, and this is the mist cleaner. This is what I use to clean off my stamps when I'm done using them so that they don't build up all that ink and get dirty over time. So you'll want to have some kind of stamp cleaner as well. So let's take a look at all the fun things that we made with this month's kit. We have the Project Life layout. We have our 12x12 traditional page layout. We have, of course, our fun Easter baskets. Let's see if I can share them by laying them down. Here, we'll leave that one sitting up so you can see it's got a fun egg in it. We have our cookie treat holder with our envelope. We have our bunny cards that you could make into an Easter or a congratulations on your new baby card. Then, of course, these fun little treats, these little mints. And then the cards that you can make with the kit. Thank you for watching. It builds creativity to think outside the box. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can catch more paper pumpkin videos that I've shared using past kits and more that I'll share with future kits. Also, be sure to visit my blog at stampyourartout.com so that you can view close-up photos of these projects and see photos of other paper pumpkin kit ideas. If you're watching my YouTube video, look for links in my description below as well. Oh yes, and to see some extra exclusive project ideas, get your Paper Pumpkin subscription started with me as your demonstrator. I hope you all enjoyed this video tutorial. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.